Oh god, they added Lizardman Shaman in single area, so this is gonna be amazing for Iron Man. And this place looks like Mauritania. And there are trolls as well in multi-area, which are aggressive. So maybe this is gonna be a new place for some tasks if you can place a cannon, you know, because trolls are usually crowded, so this may be a good place. And I think this is the train where you can use if you have 65, I think it's Oloba Kenj favor or something like that. So the way you get to Rage, because this is the lobby, and this is the Zerix lookout in Zea. So you just go like this, and these are the gates. Now the map is not updated still, but this is where you go basically through the whole thing. It's pretty easy, just follow the road and you will eventually get there. Enter Chambers of Zerix. The party just started. I just found some random people. How many people? Like 10, 15 people or something that we are at the moment. And this currently looks exactly like the test servers that we did. This is the exact entrance. I don't see anything new, but once we're gonna go in, there's probably gonna be some things. These are the first enemies that you encounter, and all they drop are like hammers and tinder boxes. So I guess if you forgot to take something, or if you just, yeah, if you didn't want to fill your inventory with useless items, I guess you could do that. Oh, we're not hitting anything. Like, absolutely nothing. I think there is some kind of puzzle that we need to solve. So we are just mindlessly attacking this Vasa Nistirio. Okay, we started a new dungeon because that first boss was just... we killed it for like 15 minutes or so. Man, this boss again. We get... How is that fair? We just started. We literally just started killing this boss, and now he's got 90... Raids. I love RuneScape raids, man. I love RuneScape raids. The best content. I think we figured out how to kill the boss. It's almost dead. Basically, what you do is you just attack crystals so it doesn't heal. So the longer he stays now near the crystal, the more he heals. So you need to kill this as soon as possible. This is basically as much damage as possible. If you're not getting anywhere, you're probably, as a team, not dealing enough damage. And now you just attack the boss, so the crystal is down. But sometimes it doesn't deal any damage. So now we're dealing damage, but sometimes it just does nothing. Oh, we got some kind of book. Like, I couldn't see the death because I died myself and I got to a spawn point. And when I came back, the guy was just dead. And everything that you drop on the floor, it doesn't disappear. So we dropped like rakes like 1 hour ago. Because we've been doing this for ages, probably for like an hour and a half. So it's still there. And it's just such a mess on the floor. You can find books, you can find like tinder boxes, like just empty vials. There's all kinds of herbs as well. Just we made too many of them, I guess. I think what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna add some new items to the item list so I can see them with OS Buddy, because as you can see there are just so many items on the floor and I have to right click all of them and I don't even remember the names of some of them. So if some of them could stand out with a purple text, you know, like food especially, and maybe some potions like overloads, because food actually it's like visible on the floor, but potions, all of them almost look identical, at least on the floor. So this is going to be the next boss that we're going to kill. We haven't tried it yet, but we kind of know the mechanics. And as you can see, we dropped some food near the entrance because we had one lava boss that we almost killed. Like, it was so close, but everyone ran out of food and we died. And it restored the health. If we had like 2 more inventories dropped like we have now, we would have taken the boss. So just taking some precautions now. This boss was the easiest out of all, at least if you look at the supplies used, because usually we would either fail at the boss or we would use almost all of our supplies. The food would be gone, the potions would be gone, and in here it's like it seems that the boss is barely hitting at all. It does have some mechanics though, so what you do is you free up some inventory spaces, so just drop some food. Keep in mind that most of the stuff is instantly available, so don't drop something valuable. Now I'm not sure if you drop like an abyssal whip, if it would instantly appear, but everything else, like the at least raids supply, they instantly appear. So you pick these leaves, and it is advisable to take maybe 5 of them, because you don't want to be going to the boss and then back to the leaves, then back to the boss, you know, just too much walking. Just take 5 of them and just feed them to these, one of the 4 larvas that you can find, those, you know, worm things. If you don't feed these leaves, then the boss will heal itself eventually, and you don't want that to happen. Eventually, the boss will stop flying, and it will go down on the floor, and that's where you stop attacking the boss, and you start attacking the portal. Now, this is where ruby bolts really shine, because somebody hit like 196 just from the ruby bolt spec. And it's as simple as that. The boss eventually will start flying again, so you have to turn the health down again. You have to repeat this a few times, and the boss will be dead. The second boss was looking just amazing in the idle animation when you don't encounter him yet. So he's hammering something, and it just looks so amazing. But we didn't know what to do at the boss. We tried killing it. We barely damage. We do like 20 damage, and the guy just goes back to hammering something, and he becomes enraged. So we didn't like what we used all the food, and we didn't deal much damage. All of us died. So the second time, I think what we did is we circled him. So he couldn't escape. You know what I mean? Like if you look at this, he doesn't have anywhere to go. So he very rarely started hammering. Now I'm not sure if that helped. Some people were also using crush attacks because, you know, he's hammering something. So that's like crushing. So people said that may help. Again, this is not a guide. It's just my first experience. Again, first hour of raids, you know, what can I know? And this was the only boss that dropped something after we killed it. And those were untradeable, like overloads, and I got some prayer potions as well, which helped. So if you don't have like any skills, you may still get some drops from the bosses themselves. Like if you cannot make overload, you can still potentially get it. Okay, so I think we figured out this boss as well. This is the fourth one now, and what you need to do is there are these 3 lobsters, and you need to damage them equally. So you can see all of its health is like equal. If you damage just one of them, eventually they will go into this phase where they will just heal. So it's a pretty easy one as well, but you can see I did use quite a bit of food. This is where they would heal, but because they are equal health, they just don't. And you just attack them again. Magic is terrible in this place, I can tell you. I know it's good on the last boss. People said you're gonna need magic on the last boss. But, I mean, you're gonna need equally range, melee, and magic on the last boss. But here, no, I'm not hitting anything. You can even look at my total points. I'm so behind from everyone else. We have like 9 people. I'm supposed to have over 6k at the moment. I have like 3 points. Well, there we go. We killed the boss. The crystal is down. And you know what I see on the other side? There should be the fishing pool finally. Somewhere where I can contribute. Wait, there's no fishing. Oh, there we go. The bubbles. So what is my experience so far by doing these raids? It's pretty fun. It seems that it can be done really fast. It just people don't know mechanics. Also because people don't have skill requirements. Let's say we found these bats. You know, they were flying and you could catch them, but you need level 90 hunter. So you catch them and you can cook them. It's like food. Now the problem was that only 2 people had the hunter requirement. The rest of us, we were just AFKing. We were literally AFKing because we could barely help. Now, later I found out that you can do a bunch of other stuff, like you can collect the Herblore ingredients by killing these, you know, those guys that we initially, in the first room, you know, those that drop tinder boxes and hammers, well, they can also drop Herblore supplies. So if you don't have anything to do, you can just kill those guys. But overall, people need skills, at least for now. Maybe later, once people get really good at the game, I definitely think that if you take full inventory of brews, you can do the whole raid. Maybe on the last boss, you're gonna need some restocking to do. The second boss was looking just amazing in the idle animation when you don't encounter him yet. So he's hammering something and it just looks so amazing. You see, one of the reasons why I took magic into this dungeon is because I thought it was gonna be like kinda like World of Warcraft, where there's gonna be like loads of trash mobs with just tons of them. You know, you go inside the room, there's gonna be 20 enemies, and Ice Barrage would obviously help in that kind of place, but no, it's just one boss in each room and some kind of puzzle or whatever else. You know, it's random dungeons, and I think there are like 64 rooms in total. So maybe there is a room like that, but we haven't encountered it yet, and we won't in this dungeon because the next room is the final boss. But we need to prepare. We're making potions, I'm fishing food, everyone's contributing. If we die, this is where we're gonna spawn. And if we go down this hole, look at this. A feast is waiting here. Okay, you see that dragon? That is the final boss of the raids. And we eventually found out the mechanics of how to kill it. What you have to do is you have to kill both of those arms at the same time. So just damage until both of them have very little health and just kill them at the same time. Not exactly at the same time, you know, if you're not hitting anything, don't panic. I think you have like 5-6 seconds or so. And then you kill the head. And that's about it. And that's the end of the raid. By the way, this is always the final boss. The raid can change. Like you may be excluded from certain bosses. Like what I fought, you may never see those bosses in your first raid. This is where the combat triangle comes in as well, because one arm is weak to magic, the other one is weak to melee, and once you kill both of those arms, then you have to use range for the head. You can possibly use melee as well, I don't know exactly, but magic was terrible. Oh, magic, terrible. I'm telling you, magic is... Maybe it's the bosses that I encountered, but magic was not helpful at all. I was getting like no points at all because I was not dealing any damage at all, you know? 4 hours and 28 minutes. You gotta be serious. 142 coal, 10 toad flax, and 38 emeralds. That's what other people got. I got 100k. 14 toad flax, 44 addy. Okay, what did I get? Let's search our chest. What is that? What is that? That journal? Is that like a... Nah, it's probably just a book. It's not like prayers, right? Come on! 7 mahogany planks and 5 grimy avanto? For 4 hours and 28 minutes, that's what you get, guys. Okay, you see this? My contribution was absolute garbage because magic is splashing on most bosses.